Italy is often imagined as a country of dark eyes and sun-kissed skin, but a walk through the streets of Rome, Naples, or Palermo quickly reveals another story. Hazel eyes are everywhere. Shades of green, gold, amber, and olive glimmer with shifting tones that defy any single label. So how did hazel eyes become such a familiar sight among Italians? What do they reveal about the peninsula's genetic heritage, its waves of migration, and its unique position linking Europe, Africa, and the Middle East? In this video, we'll explore how millennia of conquest, trade, and cultural exchange shaped one of the world's most captivating and complex eye colors. Tell me in the comments if you or someone in your family has hazel eyes and Italian roots. I'd love to hear your story. Hazel eyes are the result of a delicate balance between light and dark pigments, forming a swirling mosaic of green, brown, amber, and gold. Their appearance shifts with the light, sometimes glowing more green, at other times golden or even greyish. This ever-changing quality makes them stand out from blue or brown eyes, which usually appear more uniform. Scientifically, hazel eyes develop from moderate melanin levels in the iris's front layer. That means they contain more pigment than green or blue eyes, but less than deep brown ones. I'm on my way to reaching 10,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button. The scattering of light across the iris, known as Rayleigh scattering, further enhances the variety of tones, creating a color that seems to change depending on lighting and surroundings. Unlike eye colors controlled by one or two dominant genes, hazel is polygenic, shaped by many genetic factors working together. Genes like OCA2 and HRC2, which regulate melanin production, play major roles, while other genes affect how pigment is distributed and how light interacts with the iris. Hazel eyes often appear in people with mixed ancestry, where both lighter and darker pigmentation genes coexist. That's one reason they're so common in Italy. The nation's deeply layered DNA provides the perfect genetic balance for hazel eyes to emerge. To understand why hazel eyes appear so frequently in Italy today, we have to journey thousands of years into the past, before Rome existed, before the Latin language, even before the first true cities rose on the peninsula. The earliest inhabitants of what is now Italy were Neolithic farmers who migrated from Anatolia roughly 8,000 years ago. They introduced agriculture and carried genes favoring darker features, including brown eyes and olive-toned skin. But these settlers were only one branch of Italy's complex genetic story. Around 5,000 years ago, groups known as the Yamnaya, nomadic herders from the Pontic-Caspian steppe, moved into Europe, bringing lighter pigmentation alleles responsible for green, blue, and hazel eyes. As these steppe migrants mixed with Neolithic farmers and native hunter-gatherers, a diverse genetic tapestry emerged, one that still defines the Italian gene pool today. Italy also acted as a natural bridge, both geographically and genetically, between northern and southern Europe. During the Bronze and Iron Ages, the peninsula saw constant movement. Etruscans, Villanovans, and various Italic tribes all left their mark. Each wave of newcomers added more diversity, increasing the chances for intermediate traits like hazel eyes to appear. So, long before the rise of the Roman Empire, Italy had already become a meeting ground of Mediterranean, steppe, and local European ancestries. Hazel eyes arose as a quiet genetic echo of these ancient interactions, passed down through countless generations. And as we'll see next, the rise of Rome would only deepen that genetic fusion. With the rise of the Roman Empire, Italy became the beating heart of a civilization that stretched across 3 continents. From Britain to Syria, Egypt to Spain, Rome united people, goods and genes on an unprecedented scale. Nowhere was this exchange more intense than in the capital itself. Soldiers, traders, slaves, and citizens carried their DNA along with their languages and cultures, spreading diversity throughout the peninsula. People from North Africa, the Middle East, the Balkans, and Northern Europe settled in Roman towns, many forming families with locals or Roman citizens. The result was a remarkable surge of genetic variety, particularly in cities like Rome, Naples, and Ravenna. This influx introduced both lighter and darker pigmentation traits, creating fertile ground for mixed eye colors to thrive. Hazel eyes, which depend on multiple genes and a balanced amount of melanin, flourished in this genetic crossroads. Families of blended backgrounds, a Roman father and Syrian mother, or a North African merchant and Italic woman, often produced children with these shimmering eyes. In such families, hazel eyes weren't rare, they were the natural reflection of empire itself. Even after the Roman Empire collapsed, its genetic legacy endured. Especially in central and southern Italy, hazel eyes remained as subtle but lasting reminders of the empire's vast human mosaic, a living testament to centuries of connection across continents. After the fall of Rome, Italy entered a new and turbulent age, marked by invasions, kingdoms, and migrations. Yet instead of isolating the population, these centuries added even greater diversity to Italy's genetic makeup, especially in the southern regions. In Sicily and southern Italy, Arab Berber forces known as the Moors arrived during the 9th century, bringing with them both a flourishing culture and North African, Middle Eastern ancestry. Their DNA, rich in darker pigmentation traits, blended with the genetic remnants of Romans and Byzantines, reinforcing polygenic combinations that favored the emergence of hazel eyes. Meanwhile, the Normans, descendants of Vikings who had settled in France, conquered southern Italy and Sicily in the 11th century. Their northern European genes introduced new variants for lighter pigmentation, including those linked to green and blue eyes. As Norman rulers intermarried with local Sicilians, fresh combinations of pigmentation traits appeared, adding new shades to the Italian gene pool. In the north, waves of Germanic tribes such as the Lombards and Franks settled in regions that would later become Milan, Venice, and Turin. Their arrival infused the population with more alleles associated with lighter eyes, mixing with pre-existing Celtic, Roman, and Alpine lineages. At the same time, continual migration of Greek, Jewish, and Slavic peoples throughout the Middle Ages kept Italy's population dynamic and varied. Within this intricate web of ancestry, hazel eyes thrived, not dominant, but ever-present. They endured through generations, particularly in areas where different peoples and cultures constantly intersected. Today, hazel eyes are far more common in Italy than most people assume, especially when you look beyond the old stereotype of uniformly dark-eyed Mediterraneans. Research suggests that roughly 15% to 20% of Italians may have hazel eyes, depending on the region. That makes hazel the second most frequent eye color in the country, right after brown. In central and southern Italy, hazel eyes are especially prominent. Regions like Lazio, Campania, Calabria, and Sicily have long been crossroads of ancestry, shaped by Greeks, Arabs, Normans, and Romans. I'm on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers, so please subscribe and help the channel grow. This diverse blend of DNA creates the ideal balance of pigmentation genes for hazel eyes to form. Even in northern Italy, where blue and green eyes appear more often due to stronger Central and Northern European influences, hazel eyes remain widespread, particularly in urban centers where family backgrounds are more mixed. In rural or mountainous areas such as Abruzzo and Basilicata, hazel eyes can appear even more striking. Some of these isolated communities have preserved unique genetic patterns over centuries, allowing certain traits like hazel eyes to persist. In many families, the color seems to skip generations, vanishing for decades, then reappearing unexpectedly in grandchildren.